Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another episode of Locker Room Talk Uncut. I am Drew Garrison in the locker room with Chad Penrod. Today we're going to be talking Tom Brady, NBA trade deadline, which player we'd want from every team in the AFC South, and of course the big Super Bowl review. Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs get it done. We'll go over our predictions, what we thought was going to happen, and how the game played out. So let's get right into it. Chad, what'd you think of the big game, man?
Man, I thought it was a great game. I thought both teams started out a little slow. I think the nerves got to them.
For sure.
And then I think what looked and appeared to be a 49ers was about to just take off and pull away and
it could have been that blowout you were saying.
Yeah, I don't know. Something kept telling me there was a possible blowout just, with that defense, the way they had played all year. But the Chiefs come firing back, and I think they scored on all three of their last three possessions.
Other than the kneel down, yeah.
Yeah,
so.
and they just that's what they can do though. That's what they did all year. That's what they did against the Titans and the Texans, and they can, when they need to score, they can score.
They're Coward said this today, and I watched it. They're never on the ropes. You know how in the phase of a football game, you can have that team, you're up on them 14-17. Let's get that last touchdown. We got them on the ropes. Let's throw that knockout punch. You can't get the Chiefs on the ropes, man.
No,
they just score.
They're too much, and you got to give credit where it's due, man. Andy Reid. So deserves that Super Bowl win more than any coach in the league right now, in my opinion. Just an excellent play calling throughout the game, especially there at the end.
Eric Bieniemy, I don't know how to pronounce it. Eric Bieniemy, whatever. He deserves a ton of credit too.
Oh, he needs to get a head coaching gig soon, man. Him and Saleh, like I said, we don't know how to pronounce it. The defensive coordinator for the 49ers. I was shocked, but I don't know why I was shocked. Like, looking back to it, and I tweeted this, I said, offense over defense. I mean, because you had the best offense in the league versus the best defense in the league, and once again, offense prevails. I just think the years of dominant defenses winning, big games is always going to get beat by the offense now.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of, the defense wins championships adage has kind of gone away. And it's just the rule changes, everything that the league has done. I personally, it went pretty much how I thought it would go. I didn't necessarily see the Niners getting that lead, and I kind of thought it was going to be more of a back and forth than it was. Like you said, it started off slow, but Pat Mahomes, when he had to make the big play, he made it. When Jimmy had to make the big play, he didn't. And if you go back to the other episodes, I that's what broke it down for me. That's what made me decide. I said, I'm going to take Mahomes over Jimmy. Later in the game, they need to score. Pat Mahomes, man, he scrambles, and he didn't. We said this watching the game. By the way, this man does a great Super Bowl party. I gained 10 pounds. But we were watching it, and I said, okay, that's the play that Mahomes needed. But he was getting...
It has to be that throw to Hill.
Where he scrambled
3rd and 15, and he finds him deep.
I don't remember exactly what point in the game it was, but I know it was later. It was when they had to get that score, and they went on to. I just felt that that's what was going to happen. And then Jimmy had Emmanuel Sanders wide open. Man, they could have quite possibly put it away.
That would have been interesting.
I can't say for sure that they would have put him away because I just said you can't really put the Chiefs on the ropes. But, man, that's a big, big deficit to overcome.
I would have enjoyed Pat Mahomes down with 2 minutes to go. And I kind of want to get to Pat Mahomes there for a minute. He didn't play good at all for 3 quarters.
3.5.
Yeah, I mean, until what about the 9-minute mark in the fourth quarter, and then he just puts his Superman cape on and becomes this superhero, especially for Kansas City fans, and made the plays that needed to be made. And that's where you're just kind of like, wow, is this guy the best quarterback in the league? I think so, yes. I'm not going to jump on that wagon where everyone's saying, oh, he's the most elite quarterback that I've ever seen. I'm not going to go that far.
We might have something for that later, but
you gotta get 5 more of them things on your fingers there.
What surprised me the most, I think, was not so much. I mean, the big plays. Shanny called a very, very good game, especially in the first half. I was really impressed with his play calls, getting Deebo Samuel involved, kind of on the touch passes and the end arounds. Deebo was putting on a great game in the first half. I'm like, okay, Shanny's doing it. And those little touch passes are pretty much end arounds. Those are technically passes, I guess. Now they started recording those, but that's a run play.
Man, I don't know. The rock. I came in here for 2 weeks and hyped up Kyle Shanahan, and said, he's my number one coach. I would give up this for him. I'd give up that for him. And then I also came in here and I said that man will not get out-coached in another Super Bowl. And I was wrong. I'm here to say that, man. What are you doing there at the end of the first half? You're not, if you call a timeout, you got 1:30 to go down there. You've got to put your foot on the throat of the Chiefs. You can't just be okay with going in at halftime, tied 10-10 and think that, okay, well, we get the ball back. No, this is the Chiefs. We've said for weeks and weeks they score at will.
They spotted Tennessee 24?
No, that was the Titans. I'm sorry. It was the Texans. Yes.
The Texans.
24 points.
Texans.
But I didn't like that. You've been aggressive all year, and
18 games.
Obviously,
man.
Kittle gets that offensive pass interference, but you wanted to run the ball. You hit a big pass that was like, oh, okay, and now
we're gonna try.
Now I have 20-something seconds left. It's like, what are you doing? And Stephen A. tweeted out something that was just mind blowing to me. So Shanahan, when he was the offensive coordinator for the Falcons, when they were up on the Patriots, and then obviously the third, fourth, and overtime when he was in Atlanta, Kyle Shanahan's offense is being outscored 52-0.
Yeah. Blanked.
And I'm sitting here and I'm hyping this man up. And don't get me wrong, he's a great coach, but man, you want to talk about choking come the big game? Run the fucking ball.
What did I say, though? Well, I think it was the last episode, maybe the one before, but I said, is Shanny going to get in a position to where he's uncomfortable and get away from who he is? But I thought it was going to be because he was down 2 scores or, 17 or something like that. But he got away from who he was with the fucking lead.
I don't understand it. And me and you were kind of talking a little bit before before we started the show here. And he was, I forget what drive that was, but on first down, he runs it. He gets 5. Towards the end of there, he's getting 5 to 8 yards a run.
Yeah.
And then he throws it on second. The ball gets batted down, and he throws it again. And it just – the
Changed
turning
it.
point for me, like you said, that throw was a turning point for you. When the 49ers went up 20-10, they – I don't want to say – maybe it was Bosa got in there and strip-sacked Mahomes, but Mahomes got back on the ball. And I believe the 49ers would have had a great field there.
Yeah, they're on the plus side of the 50
yeah,
there.
So, I think that's a big play that hasn't been talked about. Obviously, the throw was amazing. The route running was amazing. And, that's just what that team can do, man. Credit to the Chiefs.
And a little bit of bad luck. Jimmy tries to throw that ball away, and they come down with the pick on the other side of the field. It just didn't quite make it out of bounds. That can be a little bit luck, but questioning Shanny again, man, after another Super Bowl, it's like, why get away? And we were talking, me and a couple of my buddies in a group chat during the game too. The game felt like it went by really fast.
Oh, it did. It flew by, and I think that's what he wanted.
Yeah, because he was running the ball.
Shanahan, yeah, and it just when you lose, you lose what got you there. That's when he's going to look back on that and be like, damn, there's no doubt.
I mean, it's just, man, that's got to be hard to sleep with. Even us talking about it, it's like, damn, it's cringy, but you were there, man. Just go with what got you there. I don't see the need to change. The Chiefs they weren't shutting the run down. Now, the Niners didn't run at the level that maybe they're accustomed to, But, I mean, they were still getting there as they were moving the chains, getting those momentum, third and shorts on runs. And it's just like he just threw it out the window and started throwing the fucking ball. I was like, whoa, man, is Freddie Kitchens come in for the second half?
And Tyreek Hill, they had the cameras on him afterwards when he got back to the locker room. And he said it best. He's like, we're not done. And they're not.
Oh, God, no.
They're going to be around for a long time. You get that first one, and they just seem to just come. Look at the Brady and the Pats. It's just, it's going to be when everybody needs paid. All right,
yeah.
And then we gotta, all right, who are we giving the money to? Who's got to go?
Pat Mahomes he's going to be the first $40 million plus quarterback that we've seen because it's all lining up for him now. I was watching TV earlier, and they said, do they need to pay him right this second?
I would.
And, well, they said, all the analysts on ESPN said, yeah, you need to pay him right now. You want to lock him up. Patrick Mahomes doesn't want him to pay him right now.
No.
Let's see what Dak gets.
He's still in that rookie contract, though. You don't want to risk an injury and set you back. Or
no, but Dak's getting ready to get a deal, whether he's not franchised or whatever the case is. We're not far off from Deshaun Watson. Pat Mahomes is going to be like, I got the ring, I got the MVP, I got the Super Bowl MVP. I think that they're going to let those guys set the bar because we've seen the quarterback market over the last 5 years or so. Okay, this guy gets paid, and next thing you know, Andy Dalton's got a $100 million contract because somebody else set the bar, and then Russell gets the
Yep.
It grows, and I think Mahomes is like, all right, I'm a couple years out still. Let's let some of these other guys set the bar, and then I'm going to hit you over the fucking head. And what do you do?
Yeah, going back to, obviously you got to pay him. Going back to, what are they going to do when all these guys need paid? Listen, that offense, you have to keep Mahomes, obviously. You got to keep Travis Kelce, and you got to keep Tyreek Hill. I think you can put receivers in there, draft receivers. The big thing is going to be defense. Who are you keeping on defense?
Defense is bigger because Tyreek's incredible, but for that offense, all Andy has to do is find speed.
Yeah.
You can find speed in the second, third round in a receiver at times where maybe he's not the route runner, but a guy that can just go downfield and get open when Patrick Mahomes is scrambling, making the play. I shouldn't say that they're easy to find, but he doesn't have to have a certain mold of receiver. He doesn't have to have, a certain route run. Get me somebody fucking fast. Mahomes will get it there.
Yeah, and then, kind of hitting on, I want to go to Andy Reid just because, I just, like I said, I think that cemented his way into the Hall of Fame.
I think he probably could have got in without it.
Yeah,
that cements it. You're right.
Yeah, he just deserved that, man, and he, just a great coach. He demands greatness. He's a great leader. He's just a
great post-game quotes. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but man, after the AFC Championship, they said, "What'd you do to celebrate?" He said, "I ate a cheeseburger and went to bed." And last night, he said, "I ate the biggest cheeseburger you've ever seen with extra cheese." And he said, "And I didn't go to sleep next to the trophy. I went to sleep next to my trophy wife."
Yeah,
good old man one-liners.
He's been killing it with the quotes.
And he's had some shitty luck with the Eagles, and he's been close with the Chiefs there a couple times, and it's just you feel like he's a guy that earned it and deserved it. And I am a Bengals fan, for those that don't know. I don't like watching the Niners win. They ripped our heart outs in 2 Super Bowls in the 80s. Now, way before I was born, but it still pisses me off.
Right. and so let's get to the big question about this. And this has been, making its way around all social media and, all the analysts and every ESPN's have been talking about it nonstop. And let's get your opinion, and I'll give you mine. So, was Patrick Mahomes the MVP of Super Bowl 54?
He was, because of what he did the last 9 minutes of the fourth or so, and because that's a fan vote, so he's the most popular Chief. Patrick Mahomes may now be the face of the league. But
I didn't know that. So the Super Bowl MVP is a fan vote?
Yeah, fans vote in on it. I think you can only vote a certain amount of times. I know they do like hashtags on Twitter, and there's on the NFL's website.
That's stupid, by the way.
Yeah, it is stupid, but I guess who else?
I don't like fan voting nothing.
Yeah, because it's a popularity contest.
Exactly.
I can understand why he got it, but if it was my call to give out the award, it's Damian Williams. 17 carries, 104 yards, 1 touchdown. that big 38-yard run, sparking things. He's picking up tough first downs. He's contorting his body, getting into the end zone, on that little dump-off pass. I just felt like he made big plays when it mattered, and so did Mahomes, but I just feel like he had the better overall game because Mahomes' numbers aren't staggering. It's actually one of the lowest rated games of his career as a starter. 26 of 42, 286, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, sacked 4 times for a loss of 18 yards. QBR is at 61.6. Not terrible, but not, mind-boggling either. I mean, Jimmy was pretty close on to him. His QBR was much lower, but some of the other numbers.
See, I'm gonna actually go the other way here. I think both obviously deserving, but I just don't think that comeback. It doesn't happen without Pat Mahomes. Don't get me wrong, man. Williams, I can't believe he went over 100 yards against that defense, and this is no shot at Damian Williams at all, man. That guy has just stepped up since the incident with Kareem Hunt there, and just became that number one back. I have a soft spot, maybe it's from being a Browns fan, for that quarterback position, and what Pat Mahomes did with 9 minutes to go in that game was just absolutely incredible. For him to just delete out of his mind everything that happened before that 9-minute mark hit, it's just like, wow. Like I said, the best quarterback in the league, and I don't think that there is an argument to be made.
I want to bring in a guest on that. I'm going to bring in Mike Vanderveen, a good friend of us here at the podcast. He's got a pretty interesting take on Patrick Mahomes. So, Mike, let's talk, man. What do you want to say to me about Patrick Mahomes? Let the people know.
I'll let the people know. I think Patrick Mahomes, after what I saw last night, specifically in the second half, fourth quarter, that's the best quarterback I've ever seen hold a football, throw a football, move around with his feet with a football in his hands. I think he's probably less than a decade away, a couple rings away, which shouldn't be too difficult for him. I think he's going to pass Tom Brady.
Passing Tom Brady for the GOAT title within 10 years, huh?
Yeah, and I have had this idea about Aaron Rodgers in the past, back when he was in his prime doing shit that we've never seen before. If he would have got like 2 more rings, 3 total, and even with Tom Brady having as many as he has, I think that would have gave Aaron Rodgers the lift up.
Well, I'm going to give you a take that I've had. I've actually had this discussion in the Brady/Rodgers debate for a while. I separate the two, and I've done this with the Jordan and LeBron talk, but that's for another day. But I don't know Chad's take on it. We'll get his here in a second. But I separate the most talented quarterback I've ever seen from the best quarterback I've ever seen, because I think it takes more than just the talent to make you the best. I always said that Aaron Rodgers was the most talented quarterback I'd ever seen, but Brady was the best. So I personally separate it. I think now Mahomes is the most talented I've seen. But yeah. Chad, how you feeling about this? What do you think of this?
So I think that I don't think you're off. I think it's a little bit premature, just because he only has 1. And Brady does have 6 of those things. But as far as talent-wise, yeah, I mean, dude, the dude can throw the ball freaking 80 yards, it seems, while on the run. Oh, yeah, from his knees, like you said. I think he's got a ways to go to catch Brady. I think there's a mentality thing there as well. As Brady as a competitor, I think it's just second to none. But no, Mike, I'm with you as far as talent wise, and maybe you're right. Maybe in 10 years he is the best. I mean, I could definitely see it.
Yeah, it's not something that's out of the realm of possibility. But how many rings are you thinking for him, Mike? I mean, you've thought a lot about this. We talked about it for a good part of the day, so I'm interested.
Well, I could see him definitely getting at least 4 or 5, because with the New England dynasty kind of like dying out, like I think Tom Brady's obviously he'll come back next year, but who knows how long he's going to be in the league? Maybe just next year. He'll be retiring before too long. Patrick Mahomes is 3 years in. I don't know how old is he? 24, 25 years old?
I think they said last night he's 24 at a Super Bowl MVP and a league MVP.
The youngest to win an MVP and the youngest to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm thinking that dynasty that's about to die out in New England is about to kind of be revamped with Kansas City. Like, I think they're going to be the AFC dominating team over the next, while. New England was in there from the early 2000s all the way up until, now.
I think what I want to see on that, and I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong or anything. I just think, it might be a little early, but, Mahomes came into almost a perfect situation with Andy Reid. I don't know. His talent is undeniable. I don't know if he's as good as he is now if let's say the Bengals took him at pick 9 instead of John fucking Ross. Because that's how it happened. Ross at 9, Mahomes at 10. But when we kind of hit on this before we started recording the call, once everybody else up there needs paid, Tyreek Hill, maybe Damian Williams, if he puts together another couple years that are pretty good, is Mahomes going to be the guy that can lift up a revolving door of receivers like Tom Brady had, like Peyton Manning did? I mean, do you see him kind of being able to take guys that aren't top tier quality receivers and turn them into the stars that it's looked like Tom Brady's had?
I most certainly do. I most certainly think
I can't argue that.
Wherewithal to do that. And also, and this could be a contributing factor, we've seen Tom Brady be in the middle of the pack as far as salaries for quarterbacks, and he's chosen to go that route just so they can use the money elsewhere.
Absolutely.
And make sure that they have supreme talent around them. I think Patrick Mahomes is a humble enough guy to also take that step back and not strive to be the highest paying quarterback in the NFL.
That's something funny that we were actually hitting on a minute ago, man. I think he's going to be the first $40+ million salary a year quarterback that the league's seen. I think at least for that first new contract, he's going to break the bank.
Hey, and if that does happen, I think overall, like throughout his whole career, that could potentially hurt him in the long run, especially if they end up missing out on throwing the money towards the weapons that he's going to need to continue to be as successful as he is. But at the same time, like he's Aaron Rodgers plus a lot.
Rodgers plus some, Chad. What do you think?
So I think that as long as he has Andy Reid, he's in the best situation he can be in. I'm not, like Drew and I said before you came on, pay Tyreek Hill, pay Travis Kelce, and I think Andy Reid is what makes that system go. So yeah. I don't think you're off, man. I'm not going to say what you're saying is delusional or any of that because you could be right here in about 10 years, and I think it depends on Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Do you think, Mike, that Mahomes, let's say somehow, randomly or something, Andy Reid says, I got my Super Bowl, I'm hanging it up. Do you think he's the same guy and he's as good in another system with another coach?
See, that's actually a really good question. Part of my idea about Patrick Mahomes continuing to elevate his game and, take that path towards being one of the greatest of all time. Part of it is contingent on having Andy Reid around, but Andy Reid's waited for so long to get this one ring, and he's got a young team, talented team. When the defense is healthy, they're elite, definitely. And I don't see him leaving because he got a taste of the Super Bowl ring.
No, he's not leaving. He said last night, if you can promise me I'll have this group, I'll coach another 20 years. I'm just wondering, because
any cholesterol problems.
That's been a big debate with Brady. Is he Brady without Belichick? I personally think it's just the perfect marriage, and neither one of those guys are each other without each other. But I just want to, what do you think, Chad? Let's say he got drafted, maybe not somewhere as fucking terrible as Cincinnati, but somewhere else. Is he the same guy?
I think it's, like I said, man, I think it's part of the system. I don't think he's as great as he is without Andy Reid. I mean, it's only time will tell that, but also the throws he makes and the shit he does, you can't coach that. The dude is talented. Don't get me wrong. That dude is, like he said, one of the most talented quarterbacks I've ever seen. Probably the most talented quarterback I've ever seen. But Andy Reid is responsible for a ton of his early success.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Mike.
What do you guys think? Because this is also a comparison that I've started to make between Patrick Mahomes and Carson Wentz, talent-wise. We obviously hasn't, ever since Carson Wentz had that year where he was going to win the MVP, he hasn't really had that kind of success. But also there's been, middle-of-the-pack coaching talent, well, not coaching talent, but coaching success, and no weapons at all. Do you guys think that Carson Wentz, in a system like Andy Reid has implemented in Kansas City, do you think he'd have that kind of success? That's a comparison that
I think that's a great question. Yeah, I mean, there's something there with Wentz, man. I mean, that dude's got a strong arm. That dude makes plays with his legs. Yeah, but I'm with you, man. It comes down to coaching. I mean, we know he's better than Foles. Even though Foles is the Super Bowl winning quarterback. But yeah, I mean, that's one that's just kind of wait and see on there. What are they going to – I mean, because I don't think Doug Peterson's a bad coach, but don't get me wrong, he's from the Andy Reid tree, so he's definitely not Andy Reid.
Looking at Wentz and Mahomes, if Wentz landed in Kansas City with Andy Reid, he is better than he is in real, now.
Yeah,
he would definitely be better, but he's not Mahomes, man. That arm talent, the no-look passes, throwing him, pretty well left-handed when he has to. A lot of that is just raw, freaky athleticism that you can't coach. Carson Wentz is better if he falls into Andy Reid's lap, but he's not Patty Mahomes. No way.
But I don't compare the two at level of talent. I compare the two at type of talent.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I definitely see your comparison
Crazy arm
there.
Strength, good footwork, can elude pressure, and that's what I think the future of the NFL quarterback position is you can't be Tom Brady nowadays.
No.
That's why Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to have a successful career. Defensive lines are getting so fucking big and strong and fast. No offensive line can be as successful as we've seen in the past decade now. So you need a quarterback that can make it happen and extend plays on his feet.
Yep, absolutely.
And, guys like Brady, Breeze, Phillip Rivers, Matthew Stafford, they're done.
Right.
That kind of quarterback's not going to succeed moving forward.
Very, very good point, man. Well, hey, Mike, I appreciate you calling in, man. That's a good perspective. That's interesting, and it's something that it's cool to kind of sit down and talk about. And if we're still doing this thing 10 years from now and Mahomes has 5 rings, you got to come back on and tell us you were right.
Absolutely. When you guys get signed on to Fox Sports or ESPN, whatever the case is, we'll make sure to revisit this discussion.
I don't know if Fox likes me saying fucking shit all the time, but we'll figure it out.
Hey, you like Trump, though, and so does Fox.
Hey, this is not a podcast for any kind of politics, sir.
My bad.
All right, thanks, Mike. Appreciate it, man.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.
Bye, buddy. Yeah, I mean, he makes a lot of valid points there,
Yeah.
And I don't know what you think about it, but I really like the Carson Wentz comparison just because of, the arm strength, the footwork.
Yeah.
They can both take off, and run with the ball.
That's one I hadn't made.
Yeah, that's a very, very solid point. But his first question, I don't think Mahomes is the greatest yet. He could be on the verge. I mean, like we said, the most talented quarterback. But Andy Reid is going to be a big thing with his career.
Absolutely.
Success or whatever that may be. But yeah, great call. Great call.
We love our guests, man. Anybody else, get with us. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. You want to call in, let us know.
The Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl 54 winners.
All right, so let's go from the Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT discussion. Let's talk about the current GOAT in both of our eyes, I believe, Tom Brady. We said on the last episode here we had breaking news.
Drew had breaking news.
As he posted on Instagram the picture of him either walking to or walking from the stadium, black and white. It's rainy. The ground's wet. We're trying to decide if he's looking at the stadium he's going to retire from here in a few years. If it's the stadium that he's walking away from for the last time, is it he's walking away for the last time because he's signing somewhere else or because he's retiring? We don't know. And then turns out it's a fucking Hulu commercial.
A goddamn commercial.
He was just lubing us up and trying to get us talking, and it worked. And he got a fucking Hulu commercial out of it and got everybody talking about it. And then, the commercial comes on. He's talking about how great Hulu is. It has all this shit. And at the end, he says, as for me, I'm not going anywhere. That tells me he's not retiring. That doesn't tell me he's staying in New England.
And the one thing that came out this weekend, though, is that first off, there was two things. First of all, they said the Patriots are willing to pay the man over $30 million a year. Is he going to want more? Is he going to say, hey, I'm still the best. I want that 40-plus million, like you said Pat Mahomes might get.
He's got all the chips,
man. Is he going to do that? And then the other thing that came out was, hey, come to Las Vegas. Come play with the Raiders. Come play in this brand new stadium. Bring your family here.
Giselle,
and you know damn well John Gruden will give him every penny he wants.
Oh, yeah, he will. And I think we might have hit on that on the last episode, though. I don't know if Tom Brady's going to go in there and have like a dick measuring contest with John Gruden. I just don't. I think Gruden's very old school, and I think kind of over the top fake old school at times. And I'm not shitting on John Gruden. I like John Gruden, but I don't know how well that meshes with Tom Brady, because unless Gruden, maybe Brady's the one guy where Gruden will be like, hey, man, this is your thing. Let's go. I don't know.
See, my take on that, though, like Tom, he's 40, 41, 42? How
40, old? I think he's going to be 43 some point in the season.
Yeah, so, obviously his career's coming to an end. Not that he isn't still playing at a high level, because he is. But if you're going to leave New England and they're willing to give you that money, go somewhere where they are a quarterback away.
Yeah, I don't think Oakland is a quarterback
Las
away.
Vegas.
Or Las Vegas. Damn, I'm going to have to get used to that. I still say the San Diego Chargers sometimes.
Now,
right.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, can you imagine living in Las Vegas and playing in that fucking stadium? That would be amazing, but I never got that that's what Tom Brady's about. And, hey, like you said, he's 42, 43 years old, man. He, is he ready to turn more towards life after football and move to Vegas or Cali out there? We don't know that, but it doesn't seem like a Tom Brady move to me to go play in Las Vegas on a team that's kind of rebuilding. Obviously they got Josh Jacobs there. They got a good running back. The receivers aren't really there. I mean, Tyrell Williams.
They got Jermaine Gresham.
Yeah. I mean, the defense is okay. But it just there's still a lot of pieces there, or not there for me to say, okay, Tom Brady in Las Vegas. It just doesn't make sense. Oh, now you want to go to the same division as Pat Mahomes? Oh, that's
and Brady's not at the point in his career where I think he can still be an elite top level quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but he's not at the point in his career where he can go to a team like Oakland that needs that many pieces and overcome that and propel them to. Like we saw him do with, not so much in New England. We've seen him with a lot in New England at times. We've seen him with nothing. But I just don't think at this point in his career he can or is willing to go try to be the piece that propels them to that next step. And the Gruden, maybe Gruden would mind his P's and Q's with Brady and kind of give him the keys, but I could also see Gruden trying to, whip his dick out and be like, no, this is my fucking show. And Brady, I just don't know if Brady's going to go for that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that it would be so much him and Gruden. I think that would be a talk to be had. I don't know. I just can't see him leaving what he has in New England for what he would have in Las Vegas. I mean, the teams that make most sense to me, we mentioned the Titans. There's a ton of sense there. And then they hit free agency, they hit the draft, and they get some more receivers. I think that's what they're missing. That quarterback, and then those playmakers on the outside. This one's probably not going to happen, but me and you have also discussed this. The Dallas Cowboys, if they decided not to pay Dak, which they shouldn't. Don't give Dak Prescott $40 million.
God,
Cowboys.
no.
Jerry
They're
Jones,
talking about franchising him now.
Yeah, I mean,
franchise him 2 years. He's getting 70
I would like
mil.
to say it's got to be 20-something million, right?
If he gets franchised,
yeah,
33.
Oh my Lord! I mean, why? Why would you give Dak Prescott that when? I mean, fucking go get Tom Brady for 2 years and let him hand the ball off to Zeke and throw to Amari Cooper and have Van Der Esch on defense and
get a speedster, slot guy or something. Jerry Jones, man. Have the balls to do it. He's not. I think the Titans are a great fit. And when you come to talking about, okay, is he maybe looking at life after football? If so, the Chargers just announced that they're moving on from Phillip Rivers. I think if you're going to focus more on life after football, you go to the Hunter Henry, the Keenan Allen,
Yeah.
The Mike Williams.
That team just always has an injury that derails them
Bug.
before the freaking season even starts.
And then hopefully they have Derwin James back healthy. Joey Bosa on the defensive line. There's some pieces there. I think that would make more sense. For football success, if you're looking
Las Vegas,
than
for
life
sure.
after football, than going to Vegas. I mean, Vegas is a big town. It's popping. They've got the LA Kings out there now, and they do all the UFC fights out there. That's great. But life after football, you're shooting all the commercials and the movies and shit out in LA. That's what LeBron did. LeBron became a Laker Friday night, and we can hit on that in a minute. But he went out there for business, for after basketball, and his kids.
And the only other team I want to bring up as that I personally could see as a possibility is the Chicago Bears. But it sounds like they're ready to stick with Mitch Trubisky. Honestly, now that I'm sitting here just thinking about it at the top of my head, it makes the most sense that it's either Tennessee or staying in New England, because if he stays in New England, they're going to win that division.
Well, hold
but
on.
he's got to get some help.
Have you thought about this one yet?
Hit me.
The Indianapolis Colts. Indoors, Marlon Mack, good offensive line,
I'm not as big on Marlon Mack as a lot of people.
young up-and-coming defense, and not only that, it is a fuck you to Bill Belichick in New England. If he's really pissed at him, if he really feels underappreciated or feels like they haven't given him what he needed, because, at the beginning we're like, okay, if Brady leaves, it's because they're not giving him what he needs. But now it might be, I want fucking paid finally.
I mean, just to me, all those teams make more sense than the Raiders.
They're
ready to go. They're a quarterback and a draft or a quarterback and a free agency away to fight for the Super Bowl, to Super Bowl 55, and Brady can't go to a team that's being built. I mean,
no.
Why? That's got to be out of the cards. Unless he's looking for money. If he's looking for money and he's looking for life after football, then Las Vegas makes more sense than any of them.
I don't know if Las Vegas makes more sense than L.A. in that sense, but
man, that stadium would be fun to play in.
I wouldn't be mad at Brady right now if he just came out and said, "Whoever pays me the most." You
Hell
earned
no.
it. Pay cut after pay cut
after pay cut. That's why New England came out and said, "Hey, we're willing to pay you."
20-some years in the league, never been a free
and
agent.
This could just be a strong hand that Brady's doing. Like, listen.
Oh yeah,
almost like LeBron is doing now. He's getting up there in age. Hey, fucking pay me and pay me the max. I want to be the highest paid quarterback, because
he's never been it.
When he was the highest, or when he was the best player in the league, he wasn't getting that.
He's giving him money back.
And he's gave him team friendly his whole career,
reworking deals.
So he definitely needs to go get his money, and I don't blame him one bit.
I don't think the Colts get talked about enough, man. I think that if there's any kind of element to revenge for Brady, he's not going to go in the division. He's not going to go to Buffalo or Miami or the Jets, but those Colts-Patriots rivalries back in the day, some good playoff battles with him and Peyton and Vinatieri kind of switching sides there in the middle of it.
I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I mean,
I think that's a dark horse that nobody's talking about. I think that's more likely than the Chargers.
The defense is there. The offensive line is there. Obviously, they need T.Y. to stay healthy. And, you got Doyle and Ebron handing the ball off to Marlon Mack. They're to me, they're kind of just like the Titans. He needs some receivers there just because T.Y. can't stay healthy. He
needs that deep. T.Y. is a good deep threat at times, but he's a good slot. But he needs that go up and get it guy.
If Tom Brady decides he's ready to leave New England, I just cannot get over the Titans. Him and Derrick Henry, and you go to. You keep
Vrabel
saying free agency, and you go to the draft, and you get them, some playmakers on the outside, some receivers.
Well, they've got some sneaky ones. Corey Davis is flashy, but A.J. Brown.
Well, I love A.J. Brown, but you need more than one. I mean, you're going to have to go out here and get him, his Danny Amendola or a Wes Welker,
right? Chris Hogan,
something like that. And Brady plays great with tight ends.
They got Adam Humphries, right?
They do. That's right.
I think that could be a sneaky good one. He was hurt a lot.
He's going to need a tight end. Brady loves his tight ends.
Yes.
So, I don't know. That's kind of where we are with the Brady saga.
I don't trust Delaney Walker there.
We're gonna see what happens. Is Tom Brady going to stay in New England, or is he going to go to one of these teams we mentioned, or is he going to go to a team that we didn't mention? I mean, I don't know where else that would be, but hell, the ball's in Brady's court, and it sounds like it's going to be his decision to make.
Mike Brown's on the phone with Brady's agent right now. Get ready. All right, so let's transition a little bit here. Our listeners have actually really liked this segment here over the last few episodes, so we're going to go down to the AFC South, go over all 4 teams, find out what player you want from each team on your favorite team. Chad, the Browns fan, where are you going first? And let's start with the Houston Texans.
Oh, the Houston Texans. I mean, there's a lot of great players there, man. I mean, my gut wants me to say DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, the
best
receiver in the league, but fuck, I've done taken AJ Green. I got Odell. I got Jarvis, and then I took Devontae Adams.
6 wide, 3 on the line.
So I'd probably go with. I mean, it's DeAndre or it's Deshaun Watson for me. I'm going to go away from my team. I'm taking DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, I know
Jesus Christ.
I know that I only got one ball, but let's avoid the other players I've already taken, just because I just can't see myself going any other way besides having the best receiver in the league.
You had said though on a previous episode that you would probably take Deshaun over Baker with how that draft played out.
Yeah, but we haven't gotten to the Chiefs yet.
Oh, well, fair enough. Yeah, that one's easy. I think everybody knows that. Fair enough.
We haven't gotten to the Chiefs yet, or teams like that who have those. Not that Deshaun's not up there, but and Deshaun's a great quarterback. It's just DeAndre Hopkins. That's the best player on that team. It doesn't matter who's guarding him. He just continuously makes plays. It doesn't matter. He goes across the middle. He goes deep. He's a great red zone target. He can high point a ball. That's where I'm going. I mean, forget the other guys I've taken. Like I keep saying, I'm going DeAndre Hopkins.
So for the first time on our podcast here, we are talking about the Houston Texans, and I have to take this time to slander a little bit. It's not fucking J.J. Watt. I'm so fucking sick of J.J. Watt. He's the fakest passionate. He's passionate, but he's fake as fuck. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the cameras always showing him and panning to him. Every time Deshaun Watson threw a touchdown pass in that playoff game, they showed J.J. Watt. I'm fucking sick of it. Go the fuck away. And fuck your little brother, too. He's really good, though. TJ's really good.
They're both good, in my opinion.
Houston Texans, you already took A.J. Green from me, so I could replace him and upgrade that with DeAndre Hopkins. I'm going to assume the Bengals are taking my boy Burrow at 1, even though that's getting a little murky. We might have to hit on that a little bit later. The defense is not what it used to be. It's still pretty good. I got to agree with you here. The controversy gets the listeners. Controversy gets people to turn the TV on, but this one's just hard. If you take A.J. Green from me, I'm going to slide number 10 out there. I'm going to upgrade that wide receiving core, and I'm going to give Joe Burrow the ultimate security blanket. Just throw it near him.
He does it all.
Throw it near him. So that one's pretty easy for me. That gives me a team with Burrow at quarterback, Mixon in the backfield, and, DeAndre out there, out wide. I think I took Adam Thielen from the Vikings, too. So that's two sure-handed. Thielen's one of the best route runners. Hopkins' route running is actually, I think, overshadowed and overlooked a little bit. Give me DeAndre. Give me Joe Burrow security blanket, and let's fucking ride. So moving on now, going down from Houston, we're going to head up north and go to Tennessee. Tennessee Titans.
Okay, Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I got Chubb. Who did I put back there with him? Dalvin Cook.
Oh yeah, no, Dalvin Cook from the Vikings. Yeah.
But I would. I mean, come on, man. Look what the guy did this year.
Stud.
He's fucking huge. He's fast and he just gets the job done. I mean, he is the heart and soul of that team. If you can run the ball, so. Like we keep saying, Stefanski's coming in and he's bringing that zone blocking scheme, and that is Derrick Henry to a T, man. I would love to have that big bastard back there and have Baker handing the ball off to him or whoever we put back there to hand the ball off to him. But, man, Derrick Henry was the best running back in the league this year. Most yards. He could catch. I wouldn't say he has the best hands, but he can catch it. he's just big dude, man. But to me, he's by far the best player on that team. And I know you're like, you got taking all these guys from here on out. I'm just going best player. And that's who I'm adding to my team. I want the best player
we'll figure the rest out later.
On every team. I'll find a way to fucking play him. But Derrick Henry, hands down, the ball at the 1 yard line, you're going to score. Give it to him 4 times.
Derrick Henry is an easy one. I've already got Joe Mixon. I would take Derrick Henry over Joe Mixon in real life. But for this and for the Bengals and the team that I'm theoretically building here, I am going to take Taylor Lewan, the left tackle. He, along with Henry, is
great left tackle.
Is and a Michigan boy at that. He's big. He's part of the soul and the heart of that team as well. They really suffered when he was out. That first 4 games with the suspension. They didn't struggle week 1 when they kicked the shit out of the Browns, though. But
I wish they had someone else that was out, too, that would have mattered.
I'm going to take Taylor Lewan. I'm going to put him at left tackle. I'm going to teach Jonah Williams to be a right tackle. I think maybe transition that in. He might not go up against, some of the top pass rushers and stuff if you slide him over there as a younger guy, effectively his rookie year. Easy to take Derrick Henry there. I see it, but for protecting my franchise quarterback that I'm picking up number 1 in April, I'm going to put Taylor Lewan out there. PED suspension, set him back 4 games. He came back in. Things started to turn around for him there, and then obviously Tannehill came in and shockingly made the difference. But, Taylor Lewan is going to be my guy coming to Cincinnati from Tennessee. Mean, nasty, protect Joe Burrow's blind side, and keep him rolling. Next up, the Indianapolis Colts. I'll go first on this one here.
Right.
For me, Quentin Nelson.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was between Quentin and the guy that I'm going to select someone different than you. But, yes, Nelson is a fucking baller.
Animal, dude. I mean, screaming at people as he's hitting them and shit, and just completely came in and sadly enough, came to the Colts too late because they finally
could have used him.
They finally started getting luck protection, but they waited until he started pissing blood every morning and shit.
Yeah,
So, a big discussion that people have had with me as I talk about this Joe Burrow thing is he's not going to have a line. I think he's going to have a better line than people think with how some things have played out. But give me my Quentin Nelson, give me my Taylor Lewan, give me my Jonah Williams out there at right tackle. Send Bobby Hart to fucking China. God, dude, what a fucking waste of space. Get rid of him. Put Quentin Nelson in there. He can play center and guard. He bounced around a lot. If they want to put him at center, I'd be okay with it. I'd be okay with keeping Trey Hopkins at center, until we maybe get to, a different kind of center that we can hit when we get to a different division. But Quentin Nelson, Taylor Lewan, Jonah Williams, 3 on my offensive line. With the weapons we've already talked about and my young quarterback, I think I'll be pretty happy with that.
So I'm going to go with someone on the defensive side of the ball.
Okay.
I need somebody who can fucking tackle. The Browns the last few years, they want to do this thing where they just run real fast and dive at your knecaps and
Denzel
and
Ward, man.
I hate that shit,
He's gonna
man.
kill himself.
And one thing that we are lacking is linebacker help, and I need some Darius Leonard in my life, man. That dude is a fucking animal. He wraps up, he makes tackles, he solidifies the middle of the field there. He's fast. Just his tackling skills, man. He came in as a rookie and led the entire league in tackles.
Yeah, as a rookie.
Just the dude is a baller. He's everything you want in a middle linebacker, and nicely enough for the Colts, he's only going to be going into year 3. So they still got him on a rookie deal, and I don't think it's going to be long before that guy's the best middle linebacker in the league, if he's not one already. I mean, I have him as probably a top 3 middle linebacker already. Don't get me wrong, I love me some Joe Schobert. He just happens to miss too many tackles for me, and Darius Leonard does not.
Yeah, he doesn't miss, and he came in, and kind of revamped that defense as well. He was on my radar for the Colts, but looking at, the Devin Bush and the Zadarius Smith already brought in, I kind of went a little bit differently and wanted to shore it up for my franchise quarterback.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at. Give me some Darius Leonard, and that's going to be my captain. I need that guy running my defense.
The quarterback of your defense.
All right, so let's get into the last team here. This one's kind of tough, Drew. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's obviously Gardner Minshew, right?
It has to be, right?
Yeah, this one is a little tough. They had a down year. They were 6-10.
Which is weirdly because they're coming off an AFC Championship game.
Yeah, but Foles, man.
You want Blake Bortles?
Blake Bortles is a
I
Ram.
know, but do you want him?
No, I don't want Blake Bortles. Fuck no, I don't want Blake Bortles. But I didn't want Nick Foles either. You told me last year Nick Foles needs to go to the Bengals. The Bengals need to look at Nick Foles.
Yeah, I did.
I said Foles is only good in Philly, man.
I like a Super Bowl winning MVP.
And he got hurt, so I'll give him that. But, Fournette's up there. Calais Campbell's up there, but he's old. And I've already got my edge rusher in Khalil Mack that I stole from Chicago out there. I'm going to go back on the offensive side of the ball, though. Give me DJ Chark. Thielen, Hopkins, and then DJ Chark playing in the slot. That dude came out of nowhere. He was my savior.
Great season, man.
On daily fantasy. Fantasy savior.
And they kept having him at a low
cheap.
At a low price. I was like, what the hell? This is not only Nick Foles' favorite target, but this is also Gardner Minshew's favorite target.
He was getting all the targets, so that was...
There's some great players there, too. It would have been easy to go with Fournette after the year he had.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I don't understand that, man. That guy, it seemed like every time you looked up, was having a 200-yard rushing game, but I think he had single-digit touchdowns. It's like, what the hell happened in the red zone?
Yeah, he's just a tank, man. He's starting to turn into the guy that you thought he was going to be coming out of LSU, because it was a little bit of a rocky start there for him. I think he had some suspensions, maybe some attitude issues. I don't know about work ethic or anything, but he's started to come on, very, very quietly. 1,152 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's it.
Yeah, I had him on a couple of my fantasy teams. I'm like, all right,
son
man,
of a bitch.
You got 200 yards rushing. Can I just get 1 touchdown?
Yeah, punch that fucking thing in. And, caught the ball 76 times for 522 yards, no touchdowns there, but that's
so are you going Fournette or DJ Chark?
I'm going DJ Chark. I got Mixon. I got my slot guy now in Chark. My receiving core set. My offensive line's looking good. I got my running back. So I'm going to kind of round out maybe my offense there and give me DJ Chark.
Well, I just talked about it. I told you I need people that can tackle.
Yeah.
I need linebackers. I'm going to go with Miles Jack.
Underrated.
Very well, yeah. He's very underrated. Let me say this. I don't know if his off the top of my head, I don't know if his stats were as good as the year before when they went to that AFC Championship game. But he's just a tank, man. He a guy that makes his tackles. And the one thing that I love about Miles Jack is he can guard the tight ends.
Yeah, very athletic.
That's where we were talking about, a couple episodes ago, how the tight end position is just so pivotal in the NFL now. But a lot of that is due because these safeties and these linebackers cannot guard these tight ends. Miles Jack is kind of an exception there, man. He guards, he covers the tight ends actually pretty well. As best as you can for a linebacker with these big-ass tight ends.
He can't tackle Derrick Henry, though. You remember when Derrick Henry just threw his ass off?
I mean, look at Derrick Henry, man. Derrick Henry is just a beast. I mean, obviously the Chiefs are looking like, no, he's not. But yeah, that's what they get. They get those bragging rights for now. But yeah, so I'm going Miles Jack, and I need one more linebacker. I'll see where that comes in at. But that's how I'm setting my team. Miles Jack.
Not a bad one to take at all. I can't disagree with you there. So there it is, AFC South recap. The players we would want wearing stripes or wearing orange and brown. Weigh in with us here on our Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, all the stuff that we shout out every time. Let us know who you guys are thinking. So let's jump into the NBA here a little bit. Trade deadline coming up Thursday at 4 p.m. I believe, or 4 p.m. right?
I believe so. Yes.
So a little NBA talk. I do want to touch on the Lakers' tribute to Kobe Bryant on Friday night. Very, very cool. The way that they did, a lot of the honors with the videos and the halftime performance by Wiz Khalifa, and I can't remember the guy's name with "See You Again." The Kobe Bryant jersey, shirts in the stands for everybody that came. Really, really cool. Dame Lillard spoiled the party and just balled out. But
he's been doing that lately.
Very, very cool way that they honored him. LeBron's speech I won't get into too much because I know that there's been a few ways that that's been taken. But, very unfortunate that they lost. I don't know how you lose that game on that night. But, just to, if you watch that, I think everybody thought it was cool, man. That hit me in the chest pretty hard watching some of that stuff. Moving on to the biggest NBA news right now, though, the NBA trade deadline. We got names like Derrick Rose, Robert Covington, Clint Capella picking up some.
Capella, Tristan Thompson. Is Kevin Love part of this? I don't know. They're saying no, but I don't know. I feel like if the right price was there, I think that he would be up for grabs.
Well, let's get into the Cavs first. You're a Cavs fan. You know all the ins and outs of the Cavs. I can understand trading away Tristan Thompson now, contract running up at the end of the year. He kind of got that, LeBron said, pay my boy before I do, right. kind of thing.
He got the LeBron love. Not that Tristan isn't good, man, because there's not a better offensive rebounder in the league.
Energy, motor.
Yeah, I mean, his motor does not stop when he's on the court. But, yeah, I mean, the Cavs are at that point, man, to where, they got to turn these guys into something, So
yeah, you're going to lose them for nothing.
Exactly. If you can get Tristan for a first-round pick and maybe some younger players or someone else, I mean that's
or expiring contracts.
Yeah, I mean that's what you got to want, as a Cavs fan. Like I said though, I don't get the whole Kevin Love thing. I can understand teams being very leery of his contract because, listen, when they say I don't want or when they say we're not willing to trade Kevin Love should not be your best player on your team.
No.
I'm not going to build a team around Kevin Love.
No, you saw that in Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, if Kevin Love is my second best player, don't get me wrong, Kevin, he deserves a max contract. Don't get me wrong.
In today's NBA.
Yeah, he can hit the outside shot. He can get rebounds. He's like I said, he's a double machine. But yeah, I mean, Portland, you need to come get Kevin Love, man. It just makes so much sense for Kevin Love in Portland, the way Dame's playing, and you got McCollum there. Unless you want to give us McCollum and let him come home, because those are the kind of guys that wouldn't mind being in Cleveland. You see that guy at the Browns games every year, and he's tweeting about him, and I think McCollum would low key like that. Not that they would give up C.J. McCollum for Kevin Love. I'm not saying that.
Right.
I mean, who in the hell would? But if Portland can get Kevin Love there, it just makes a lot of sense. As for Tristan, I mean, a team that can't rebound for shit. How about Boston if they can't get Capella? How about Atlanta? Someone that can get boards. So there's a lot of picks to be had out there. And that's what you got to do with guys like this. The Cavs are trying to go young and build that thing up, and that's what they should do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the day and age where, I think the NBA right now is going to be the most competitive that it has been in years. There's a lot of two-headed monsters instead of three or four.
Right.
And while we're talking NBA, it warms my heart to know that the Warriors are like the worst team in the league.
How long though? Even if it's a year.
D'Lo's in talks. Minnesota wants him bad.
Yeah, they do.
They want him with Cat. I guess they're good buddies. But the fucking Warriors drafted well, got a good team. Then a salary cap anomaly happened, and they got Kevin Durant because a salary cap anomaly. They're the fakest fucking dynasty in the history of sports. I had to get that out.
And why wouldn't Minnesota give up a first for D'Lo?
In a heartbeat.
I don't get that. I mean, they should definitely go after D'Lo, even if it costs them a first. Hey, let's transition though. Let's go on the coast there. Let's go L.A. Clippers and L.A. Lakers. I mean, your team, the Lakers. One of those teams, it almost seems like they have to make a move. Is it going to be Iguodala? What's going to be out there? What would you like to see your Lakers do?
Well, and I watched The Jump earlier, one of the few ESPN programs I can sit and watch start to finish. And they said, which LA team needs to make a move and get that extra piece to contend for a title? I think it's obviously the Lakers. The Clippers are having chemistry issues. They're having the why is Kawhi not playing all the time issues. They're having the maybe the locker room issue that the Lakers aren't going to have, and the unfortunate tragedy of Kobe Bryant has served the Lakers well in the sense of they
are going to all come together.
They were a pretty close knit group before, but I think this is really going to intertwine them and bring them together.
Not to cut you off with that, but I think when the time matters, the Clippers are going to be there. They're going to be close. I mean, it's going to come together. But I do see what you're saying.
But I think that when it comes down to playoff season, it's a 7-game series and it's the big moment. The Lakers need another piece. I'll tell you who's not going to be traded before the deadline, and it's Iguodala.
Yeah.
Nobody's giving up the first-round pick that Memphis thinks they're going to get for that $17 million deal. He's going to be a buyout, and he's going to L.A., one side of the Staples Center or the other. The Lakers need to go get Derrick Rose. I've touched on this before. We need another guard that can create his own shot, can kind of keep the offense flowing while LeBron takes a break, who can make some good passes down low to AD when AD is kind of the best guy on the floor for the Lakers. That is the move that I think needs made for sure. I think it makes them a lot better. I know you said you think it makes them better, but you don't know if it makes them beat the Clippers.
Yeah.
And that's close. That's iffy. If they find a way to get Derrick Rose and Iggy on that team, and I know Iggy hasn't played in half a season, but I'm trusting that he's staying in shape because, he's never going to put on a Memphis jersey. I don't know where the hell he's been. He's been pretty quiet. He'll throw out a tweet every now and then complimenting the Lakers.
Right.
If they found a way to get Iggy and Derrick Rose with the motivation that they now carry from the tragedy that happened, give me the Lakers in 7.
And I think one of the biggest thing that the Lakers need to do is find a way, find someone that wants Kyle Kuzma, because there's teams out there. I just don't think that Kuzma fits the agenda of where they're trying to go or the way that they play. But do it and don't give up. Danny Green.
No,
don't
Danny
give up
Green
Danny
stays
Green.
bar none, no matter what.
And and this could be like I said, with the Kobe tragedy. I want the Lakers to win this year, but a player that just makes too much sense. If you can't go out and get Derrick Rose or Iguodala, but man, I would love to see J.R. Smith back there with LeBron. Even if it's on that second unit, obviously you got Danny Green there. Do you really need JR? Probably not. But I think that, in my opinion, JR is going to probably give you more than Avery Bradley will.
Yes.
Even though Avery Bradley had a great game the other night, he's just very inconsistent. He plays defense, yes, but why do you want Derrick Rose? You want somebody in that second unit that can score. And if it's JR and he's got to run with the second unit, why not?
He's been out of the game for a while, though. That concerns me.
He still has that
Iggy,
shot.
but that shot doesn't go away.
He plays defense.
And he does play defense. On the point of Kuzma, I like Kuzma. I don't like Kuzma's mentality. I think he's too worried about his hair and all this other shit. Kuzma is a guy that can be on a team and find his way and grow and turn into a pretty solid player, but that's not the Lakers.
He almost needs what Brandon Ingram got. He needs
not the big lights.
Yeah, to where he can go and he can start and grow. Because and you're kind of getting back. Obviously I can't compare the Cavs won championship to however many the fucking Lakers have.
16 of them things.
But my team won the championship a few years ago, and we had the first pick and took Andrew Wiggins, and we traded that to for Kevin Love. Kuzma, that's what I mean when I say Kuzma just isn't fitting what they're trying to do. He's learning. The Lakers need to win. So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Kuzma's bad. I just don't think he fits everything that's going there in L.A.
Yeah, and I'm with you there. And, I think there have been some talks with the Kings about Bogdanovic. Please forgive me if I didn't say that right. I would like that. He's a shooter.
I doubt they'll give up Buddy Hield, but man.
No, if they give up Buddy Hield, you do that deal right now. I don't think that's even an option. Kuzma, I like him. I think he will be good, but yeah, the Ingram comparison's good. Ingram went to New Orleans. The lights are there a little bit more now because Zion's back, but he's really
kind of being the
flourished.
guy there, though.
LA's a tough market, man.
Yeah,
it's a tough market for a young kid. Not everybody's got a Kobe mentality.
LA is awful as far as football wise, but man, you want to start talking basketball? They love their Lakers there.
Even the 7 years in the past when the Lakers sucked and the Clippers had Blake Griffin and Chris Paul and they were good, it was still a Lakers town. It's always going to be a Lakers town. Kuzma, Love him. Wish he would focus more on ball, less on his hair or whatever. But
he wants to be Eminem.
He can go. Yeah, he looks like ramen noodles. He can go. Give me Derrick Rose. Give me Iggy. However you can get him, and let's rock this shit out. Rondo's minutes can get cut, and unfortunately, I think if they get Rose, it may mean the end for the GOAT, Alex Caruso.
It seems that way from what they're saying.
But it should be Rondo, dude. Rondo, playoff Rondo.
You got to understand these teams trading. They either want some draft assets or they want the younger players.
Yeah,
and Caruso's not bad. I mean, he's going to give you more than what Rondo can.
He'll come in and he'll get 2 points, but he'll make those hustle plays, those steals, and dive for the boards, and every now and then throw down a big dunk.
I'm only comparing this because
I know where you're
LeBron,
going.
He's the Deladova.
Yes, dude, he's
the
deli.
deli.
But if losing him means a championship, I'm with it. Another name that's been linked to the Lakers that's pretty interesting, Robert Covington. Fairly good shooter.
I'd like to know what they'd have to give up for him, though.
Yeah,
you're probably looking at a lot of assets to go get Robert Covington.
Well, and that's the thing. The Lakers don't have them. I mean, look what they did.
They're all in
trade.
New Orleans.
Yeah,
all their assets in New Orleans.
They all went to New Orleans for AD, and rightfully so. I mean, AD's like nothing I've ever seen.
It's going to be a team that's going to. The trade has to be centered around Kuzma. I mean,
he's going to be the piece.
That has to be. The young asset on the team is Kyle Kuzma. What do you want in return? Who do you want in return? And that's going to be where it's made at, unless it's a buyout.
Yeah, and I don't know if a buyout's going to come. I mean, Covington, he shoots the ball pretty well. I mean, around the 34% mark.
Covington's nice.
Not great. But what I think that will help him if he becomes a Laker is his wing defense. In that second,
you got to think he's probably going to run with the second unit.
Yeah, and on that second unit, when LeBron needs a break, and maybe you're in a series with the Clippers, and they say, okay, LeBron's down, let's put Kawhi back in.
And is that going to be tough for Covington, man? Because the dude starts. Is he going to want to come play, off the bench?
Yeah, will he take that role? I mean, he's coming into his 6th season, are you ready to – are you at the 6-year mark where you're ready to kind of take maybe a little bit of a back seat to go get a ring? And who knows? So that's interesting too. That's a name that's been interesting to me. But Clint Capella, man, you're almost a Rockets fan. We'll get into that later, man. We argue about Harden a lot. We're going to do that when we have more time, but – that's not one that I expected to see out. I know he's been out. He's got a nagging foot injury. He doesn't see the court a lot. But that one was kind of shocking that he came up in trade talks.
If they trade Capella, that tells me that they don't think that they have any kind of shot this
year.
That's
kind of what I was thinking.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, man, but imagine if Boston gets him.
That's the one.
Or he goes and plays with what's the dude from Atlanta? Trae
Young.
Trae Young.
Those are the main two. Boston and Atlanta were the two names I kept hearing all day today.
Yeah, so those two teams are in dire need of a big. And, hey, Clint Capella's nice, man.
He is. He just got to get healthy.
Yeah. But if he wanted out, I could almost see why he wanted out. I mean, we know what goes on there in Houston.
Maybe so, but, I mean, they fought so hard to keep him a couple years ago. Dallas was all over him.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's where he gets traded to, because you're right.
Well, yeah, Dallas maybe could make a play there. Him and Kristaps
and Luka. That's ooh.
NBA trade deadline is one of the funnest times of the year, just because, I mean, you got days where you remember that day we worked together at the time, and the Cavs made like 9 trades. Yeah. LeBron just got like 14 new guys to play with. So there's going to be a lot of that. The Woj bombs will be dropping. We'll be refreshing our Twitters left and right. I'm excited to see what the Lakers can do. And what are the Clippers going to do there? So there's a lot there. Get with us on that. We haven't done a lot of NBA talk. There's been so much NFL stuff going on. Want to get back into the NBA a little bit more. So get with us on what you think is going to happen for your team or any team. Let us know what you're going to think. Let us know what you think is going to happen with the trade deadline. Excuse me there. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here. It's been another good one. Super Bowl review, Tom Brady, NBA trade deadline, and, of course, our AFC South players we'd want on our team. Thanks for tuning in with us, guys, and we look forward to the next one.